Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm here with a book haul. The books that I'm going to be talking about are books that I acquired on a shopping trip to Barrier Island Books in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Barrier Island Books is a used bookstore. It came to my attention when I was doing some research about bookstores in the area, and I thought I would check it out. This is what I got on my very first visit. They had a great array of books, and the first thing that I got is the box set of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and the complete Lord of the Rings series. So, we got The Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. It's great to be able to have it all in one place. I do have Fellowship of the Ring, which I got for my young adult literature class, but it's always nice to have something of this nature, especially being the book collector that I am. This can join the family of the Chronicles of Narnia box set that I acquired some 20 years ago. They had a good selection of modern library plays there, too, and one of them that I picked up is 6 plays by Rodgers and Hammerstein. They were known for their musicals, and technically these are musicals, but these are works written in script form, so this includes Oklahoma, Carousel, Allegro, South Pacific, King and I, and Me and Juliet. I picked up 8 plays by Moliere. This includes the English titles. The Precious Damsels are Tartuffe, The Misanthrope, The School for Wives, The Physician in Spite of Himself, and The Would-Be Gentleman. This one was translated and introduced by Morris Bishop, and this is definitely something I look to engage in order to broaden my horizons for plays. And I also got 4 plays by George Bernard Shaw. This was with an introduction by Louis Cronenberger, who was an authority for anthologizing plays back in the 40s and 50s, the mid-20th century, per se. And this includes Candida, Caesar and Cleopatra, Pygmalion, and Heartbreak House, complete and unabridged with the famous prefaces. And I got the Poems, Prose, and Plays of Alexander Pushkin, edited by Avram Yarmolinsky. Pushkin was somebody I was introduced to in a Dover Thrifts anthology of Russian literature, and he was the particular writer that Professor Trimble constantly went back to in Tsarist Russia. I did a presentation on Pushkin's poetry, and I couldn't help but also incorporating his prose too, because that's what introduced me to him. And he was a very fascinating individual, and by fascinating, you can also say interesting, and one can also say that he was a bit of a rebel and a maverick. But he was also a pioneer for Russian literature and defining Russian literature as Russian literature. And to immerse myself in my growing interest in composers, which the seed was planted back in elementary school music class, because my music teacher in kindergarten, first and second grade, was very passionate about music, but also music history, and there was always a composer of the month. It was a seed that was planted. I walked away for it for quite some time, and I'm really considering a return to learning more about their background and their music, and this should definitely help me out. The Encyclopedia of Great Composers and Their Music. This is a revised edition, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and by revised, they're referring to an edition that was released in 1962 by Milton Cross and David Ewan. Next one that I got is 3 Negro classics, which includes Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington, The Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. DuBois, and The Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man by James Weldon Johnson. And I think that these are documents that are definitely meant to strengthen one's understanding about their fellow man, and I would like to check this out. And in the area of black literature, what I just mentioned is, those are essays, but this in itself is a work of fiction, but a very monumental one, and that is Roots by Alex Haley. This has to do with the generations of a black family, and it was adapted into a television show that saw a great deal of success. And if I'm ever going to check out that show, I definitely want to read the book first. Next book that I got is To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, because I've really enjoyed reading Virginia Woolf's short works. I'm really looking into reading more of her novels and books themselves, her books and novels. I did read Orlando, and I did not like it, but I definitely want to give her other works a chance, like A Room of One's Own, and To the Lighthouse, and plenty of her others. Next book that I got is From Here to Eternity by James Jones. Last year I picked up a book, I picked up The Thin Red Line, which is the sequel to this book, and I wanted to have this in my collection, and I'm aware of the film with Frank Sinatra, and for all I know, I would definitely like to engage myself in this and the rest of the series if I really enjoy it. And the last book that I picked up is The Clinton Tapes, Wrestling History with the President by Taylor Branch. And this covers interviews that Clinton gave during his 8 years in office. This is really a candid look into the Clinton presidency from Clinton's perspective, and you get a taste of everything that happened. One of the huge moments of his tenure was the affair that he had with Monica Lewinsky, which led to the lie under oath and the impeachment, but how he was saved because of the way that things were operating in the House and Senate. But this is definitely something that I'm looking to get into. That and the Nixon tapes, which covers things that Nixon said and did during his administration, and from that perspective too. That's what I got while I was at Barrier Island Books in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. It's definitely a place that is worth checking out. There are quite some hidden gems there. I'm pretty sure that you're bound to come across something that you would enjoy. And I thank you for checking out this video. Be sure to join us next time. For now, keep reading.